fish. Doing some fish today. Fish today, gone tomorrow. Tons of work, crazy trips, lots of fun, lots of work, lack of sleep, it's too cold, blah, blah, blah. Let's jump into fish, right? And I'm gonna press this button here. Why is this? Wait. The light is totally messed up, but it's good enough, right? It is good enough. Say it's good enough. It's good enough. So I'm not gonna open Unity because it's been spamming my disk. We're still doing the Unity versus Godot remake of Fiiish, and both projects make good progress. We spend a lot of time. Focus, please, on Unity. Wow. It's been 3 weeks since we touched Godot. Whoa. So the plan is to kind of leapfrog, so do 2 each and then have overlap to not give any a head start. We added the pickups, coins, and specials and played far too long with the coin explosion in Unity. We're not going to do that in Godot. We're going to tone it down a lot. I'm not sure how we're going to do this yet. Because, yeah, photos, thank you. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but that's what we're here to find out. And then we handle the death and restart. And probably I'm going to cheat because this is kind of almost done. So we're going to add the in-game HUD in Godot as well. But first today, pickups. Thursday, holiday here. So either I don't stream at all or I stream a lot. Overlay still not working due to broken Raspberry Pi, new one incoming, but that might be a week or two. So I put the chat here so I don't constantly miss it. I wish I could hide the toolbar for just this window, but I did some tiny work while you were gone, off stream. Wrote script, GitHub action. Created a GitHub action that, you might have guessed it, checks out the project, sets up Godot, didn't get to Unity yet, sorry, verifies the setup, just running version, exports to WebGL, and there's tons of errors in here, and I'm not sure what's going on here. It seems to work. And then at the end, I mean, save pack. This is a bit noisy, but maybe we can. Warning, okay. We check the result, which is a nice little export, and then we upload to an S3 bucket. And unfortunately, the domain is being moved right now, so I cannot point a ClownFront distribution to this website, which means you cannot play the web version. But this little job here, which still doesn't have a good name and took a few tries to get right. I mean, just literally changing. Some of them are just one-line changes. You can look them up off stream, but basically standard GitHub setup. So we have a workflow dispatch, right, as a trigger. A workflow dispatch as a trigger, which just means when we go to the job, and I should really give it a name, we can do this here. That's workflow dispatch. Could also be triggered by a different workflow, but that's that. We also do it on every push for now. Maybe we'll only do it on version pushes. And for now, we only do it when the pass Godot changes. And that's to be tweaked. It's just an intermediate version. We run this on our uBCloud Standard 4 runner because it costs a little bit of money, but it's so much faster than the broken GitHub runners. We have a standard checkout, but we only check out Godot and the workflows because we have that Unity project in there and we don't really need it. We use this setup Godot action from Chickensoft Games seems to work. Version 4.3.0. You can't put 4.3 here, which is a bit sad. We don't use .NET. We want the templates. Then we verify the version, the setup by just seeing if we can start it. And then we do a export WebGL. We start Godot in headless mode, export the web preset to this file, and then we quit. And then we check the result and do the standard upload to S3. No magic there, but should help us with stuff like, oops, I forgot to commit this file. So, shall we dive into the action? Shall we dive into the action, swim under the sea, and collect some coins? I just made that up. I'm sorry. So, this is a Godot version of the game, and if you watched last week's stream, you'll see minor differences here. Right? We have all the obstacles. Well, not all of them, but a ton of them. And we still have more obstacles, but nothing to collect. So I think that's step one, add collectibles, right? Excuse me. Actually, do we have both mics on? Hello? Double audio? Now, that is weird. Let's check. Sorry, I have to test. Okay, weird. So I had the camera mic and the desk mic on, and they were both. I don't. All the mics are on. What happened here? Test? Okay. Okay. Let's hope this is it now. Why? How? Who? Maybe when I clean my desk. So we see a lot of stuff here that we didn't spawn, right? That we basically skipping. And we know how to spawn that, so we need to create the scenes, right? So we have the scenes here and we have the obstacles, and that's how we spawn the obstacles, right? I mean, no magic there. I think there was there? Oh, so we can do F for focus. We need to create a scene for all the unhandled CSCs, right, in our loader script, and we know how to do that, and that is step one. What we can't do is the components thing we did in Unity, brain freeze. So let's do this step by step, right? Let's take the enum here, and actually we have a script for that, right? We have the manager, and somewhere we have a ton of magic numbers. We have a ton of magic numbers, right? And yeah, let's get rid of these magic numbers. Entity IDs, right? These are the IDs we have, and I believe so. What if, I mean, it will probably look the same, right? But I want these 4 here for now. We're not going to change all of them at the moment. And we're just gonna put them at the very top here, right? So we have enums. We have enums in Godot, and I think the format is actually I'm not sure if this should be pickup coin or pickup coin, but we can give it specific values, right? So we're done. So, I mean, let's do it for the rock A as well, right? Just to see if that's the way to go. We have rock A here, right? Let's do it for all the rocks. All the rocks. I mean, they shouldn't be here anyway. Bit of cleanup, bit of housekeeping, right? And let's keep so the rocks come after the pickups. So basically what I will do is, can I multi-select here somehow? No, I can't. All right, so that's the rocks. And now we should be able to down here, and probably we don't even have to do this, but I just want to test this real quick, right? So entity ID rock A. Much better to read, right? I mean, we should really have that entity config thingy that gives us the config for that. I really should open the Unity project, but we can probably cheat and just open the script, right? Because we want symmetry, right? We want the projects pretty close, but not necessarily the same. But I think in this thing, where did we do this? It was in the game manager, right? Not in the meta file. We have this entity config thing here, which does some asynchronous stuff, but basically contains what we need, right? And then we have this array here of entity configs, well, this dictionary of entity configs. And basically we have the enum and the rock stuff here. And then when we need an entity config, well, this is adding the entity configs, right? Which let's do this the same. Let's make this the same, right? Shall we? And then basically when we do something, we get the entity config, and I think that's the way to go. That is the way to go. So right now the entity config only has the preloaded scene, so I could change all of these here. I'm just gonna press play once just to show doesn't change a thing, right? Still working, and I think this is rock A, the small one, right? So it's still spawning. Is it the small one? Is it the small one? It is a small one, right? This is rock A. Still fine. Still fine. So let's go back to the script, and I'm pretty sure there's a shortcut for that. Probably Alt-3 or something. I don't want to. Oops. 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 There's some shortcut. So I could change all of these, but I want to replace the whole thing, right? I don't want to match here. I just want to say, hey, get it from the dictionary, and we're done with it. So step 1, we create an entity config container, right? So we need to put that into a separate script. So let's create a new script. Let us create a new script. Need to get my brain back into Godot after 3 weeks. And I wonder where all the other scripts are. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new script and call this entity config, right? Which extends nothing basically, but has a class. This is class name or class name? Oh, it's class name. Right, and it has basically what we need is it needs to have a whatever this type is, right? What is this type? We could have just a var, but I want it to be a resource. I want to be a bit more specific, right? So what if this had a resource? Right? And unexpected identifier. Wasn't that? Oh. Oh. Wrong language. Right, and for now we're just not using getters and setters. So this is one entity config, right? It just has a resource. And we could decide if we want to actually let's have a function. Let's have a function that loads the resource. Isn't it string? Is it string? Oh, this is the problem, right? No? Yes. So what we want to do here is basically what we do here, right? We do preload and assign the resource. Say resource equals preload pass. Careful with the pass here. We know we have some problem here, right? Why? Preload must be a constant string. Oh. Now that can we just load? So the idea is, right, that instead of this, we have this entity configuration manager. I mean, in this case, we just have the dictionary. And I don't know how we do that in GD script, right? Hash map, dictionary. So a dictionary has keys and values. So can we have a strongly typed so it's more like that's not good. I want this typed stronger. Lua style tables. Yeah, that's. I'm not sure I want it like this, but what if we had var entity configs, right? And that is just empty. I mean, what we probably could do is, right? Is it colon syntax? It's colon, right? Is actually, oh, what if we do What if we do it like this? I mean, this doesn't exist, right? Let's call it from resource. So what if we had from resource? Ah, that doesn't work, right? That does not. GD script constructor. Init. Init with parameters. Can we do an init with parameters? Ah, we can do an init with parameters. Okay. Okay, so we do this slightly different, right? We init it with a resource equal r resource, right? And then we say resource equals resource, right? The thing is, I want to do this inline, and I forgot the colon again. So the load is gone. Learning this thing, right? Can we do it like this? Is it dot new? I kind of like the shape of this, right? So what we could do now is the entity configs are all there. So let's do all the rocks, right? Let's do all the rocks. Should come from a config file probably. Auto-completion getting in our way quite a bit, right? So let's pretend we don't have these, right? We don't have the rocks for the moment. Just a bit of cleanup in the beginning is always good to get going, right? I mean, obviously, this now doesn't work. But what we could do is, right? What we could do is, in the false true case here, right? We're going to remove all of this. We need to call instantiate on that resource. But if it's none of the above, right? Actually, I want to do it the other way around. Because if O equals null, right? If O is still null once we're done with the new code we're writing. Here. Right, then we do the old style, but otherwise, so var entity config equals entity configs. Will this return null? Incoming ad break. Thank you for the warning. Wait, there was a dictionary, right? What is, do we have to check the key or can we just returns the value? If the entry does not exist, fails and returns null. I mean, we want null, right? Null is fine. Null is fine. So we just get the object CRC from the dictionary, right? And say if EC is not null, right? All we have to do is O equals ec.resource.instantiate. All right, we try to check if it's in our configs. If it is there, we instantiate it, and then the old code just works. For the moment, we have this weird obstacles. let's see how we handle this. But for now, I just want to see if we just completely messed things up, right? And apparently, invalid access to property or key. Now that is not so good. So object ID is this. That would have been too easy, right? I mean, we can do the we can do it slightly different, right? We can say if entity configs has, I mean, why I don't want to do this because it's a double lookup, right? Or what does get do? Get. Maybe we should just try the other variant first, right? Let's not do this. Let's do this. Right, so if we do a has and a get, we have to look into the array twice, into the hash map, which is more expensive, which is silly. Let's try this once more. Okay. Do we have rocks? We do have rocks, right? We do have all the rocks and they work. So that worked nicely. I mean, we can add the seaweed as well, right? So let's do the seaweed. Seaweed. So for the seaweed, we need to do the entity IDs first. So where did I put these? Let's do a bit of cleanup, right? I mean, they're smack in the middle of everything. And again, this should probably come from a config file. I'll keep mentioning that. All right, seaweed. I want block edit. I don't know how to do that. So, but I want to copy one for seaweed, right? Seaweed A, and then I do seaweed A. And then I just copy the seaweed times B, C, D, E, F, G. B, oh, come on. C, E, F. Have to escape out of the autocomplete every single time, which is a bit annoying. Otherwise, this was B. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, G. Okay, so that means we don't need this anymore, right? That means, means this whole block here is gone. And that means we do an else here and say, right? So this is gone. We probably could move this in here now instead of having the extra null, but step by step, right? So we should have rocks, we should have seaweed, and it should be easier to add new stuff now. We have rocks, we have seaweed, and we're going to swim into the seaweed just to verify that the seaweed is still deadly, and it is. And our fish still swims up too slow. So that was the easy part, right? And usually I would do a commit now, but we're in this crazy mode where we do one commit per stream. Be my guest. So that worked nicely. That worked very nicely. So what were we doing? Coins, right? Coins. Do we have the coins textures in there? No. So this is going to be interesting, right? Because where's textures, right? I just want we have pickups, and then we have coin blue, coin green, and magnet. And then I'm just gonna do this now, right? Gonna keep this here. So in textures, we have pickups, create new folder, right? Pickups. And in pickups, we have a folder coins. Was it coin or coins? Was it coin or coins, right? No, it's here. It was coin blue, coin green, magnet. It was coin, not coins. Coin, we have a folder. Isn't there a shortcut for coin blue? There should be a shortcut. Coin green and folder magnet, right? So that's where our stuff is, and we're actually gonna, that's why I put this here. We have this in assets, right? Pickups. And put this to the other screen real quick so I can cheat a little. So we're gonna take the coin and drag it. Can I drag it into coin, please? Let's try this once more. I hope that drags it into coin. Drags it into coin. Nice, right? So we do the same for the coin blue. I could have just taken the folder. Could have just dragged the whole asset thing in there, right? Coin blue. I'm pretty sure I didn't even need to click the coin green, all of them, right? Coin green. And just because we're here anyway. We start with only the coin for now, but let's magnet, right? Magnet, let's drag all of these in. So what we have to do now is create a scene. And this is interesting because we could just treat coins as obstacles. So we probably just clone one of the obstacles, right? So we have the scenes here, we have the obstacles. And we have the obstacle script. So I'm gonna create a new folder here that says pickups. And now it's getting interesting, right? Because I'm tempted, I mean, this obstacle here is doing, well, it's not doing too much, right? But I don't want to duplicate that code. I don't want to duplicate that code, so we could just take the rock scene. I'd duplicate that scene and I mean, it's a rock, it's a sprite, and it's an area, right? And that sprite has no animation. So, oh, maybe the seaweed is better, right? As an animated sprite, there's a default animation that loops an area 2D and a collision, right? Let's just build the coin from scratch, just for fun, right? So I'm gonna go into, also to get my brain back into Godot mode. Fair enough, right? So, and here's something that I learned recently. I want to favorite this, so it's at the top here, right? So this is the game. So we have obstacles, and for now we're gonna put it under obstacles, pickups, destructibles, right? And the thing is, the top node here, right? The top node is a node 2D, right? That's how we run, and then we have a script on it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a child node, node 2D, right? Create that and call this coin. Right, and there's nothing to see here. I mean, it's literally, yeah, that double click was not intended, but it's this here, right? Game obstacles coin. So step 1, we add an animated sprite, right? Add child node, animated sprite 2D. Create. So in the animation, we create new sprite frames, right? And then we added that. And then I forgot how to do this. So I'm just going to play stupid and loop 25 FPS. Play. Works. Done. I mean, remember in Unity, we were like, what are we doing here? And it's default, so that works, right? We don't need a collision shape because we can't collide with that. But we want it to move, right? So if we press play now, A, the animation is not playing, and B, the coin is not moving. Why is the animation not playing? Because remember we had that problem that we had to manually play the default animation. And I could just attach this script to the coin, right? I could just attach but I want to attach 2 scripts, right? So what I want for the coin, and I'm just gonna make this unique name access just because I want to attach a script here, right? I want to attach a script here, and actually I'm going to call it pickup. And I can only attach one script. It's not like I have multiple components, right? So for now, just for now, copy and paste, bad, right? So we do exactly what we do with I'm not sure where the game manager is attached. How's it? Oh, the game manager is attached when we spawn it, right? So the game manager attaches itself, right, when it creates the object. So what we need to do now is we need to make this a prefab, right? And for that, I want to save it here. So I want to save branch as scene, scenes and pickups, and I want to call this coin is fine with me. Coin is fine with me, right? And then I delete this here. Can I attach a second script? Can I attach multiple scripts to? I'm just this. No, there's just one script, right? That's the problem. That is the problem. Okay. So if I attach a new script, I attach a new script, right? Where did our pickup script end up? Ooh, did I mess this up? Where does the script live? In scenes. Okay, let's move that. I don't want this in scenes. I want this in here, right? Do I? Do I? What? Can we actually do that? So where can I see the scripts that are currently? Okay, there's only one script attached, right? So now we have the coin scene, right? Where's the attached script? And I've been editing this obstacle here, which I just wanted to delete anyway, right? Where's the delete? There's the delete. I got distracted. So we have our pickups coin scene here, right? Which has this script and this animated sprite. So if I press play now, nothing will happen, right? Because we didn't tell the manager where to find the coins, right? So that's the easy part. That's I wish. How do you turn this off? How do you turn this mini? I don't need the mini map, right? It looks cute, but it's just a waste of space. Okay. So let's add the missing. Oh, we already have the pickup coin, right? So, and let's just put this at the top, right? Just because. So we have pickup coin, and we want to load pickups coin, right? Yeah, the autocomplete should have overwritten. So that's all, folks. We're spawning coins now, he said, without even checking the code. Is it the wrong coin? Is it the wrong coin? We had that problem in Unity, right? Pick up coin. E4C. Pick up coin. E4C. Oh. Layer pickup 0. We're not spawning all layers, right? Are we? We are not spawning all layers. We are only spawning the obstacles layers. So we could say I think it was this. That was a reason we had multiple layers to avoid Z fighting. We could do it like this, and I will do it like this, and then we're gonna make it a little bit nicer, right? I'm not looking. Look! Coins! 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 I want my coins. I want the coins. I want to collect the coins. My coins. My coin. Okay. We cannot collect the coins, right? But that's a good start, right? So coins. Coin scene. We have some ordering issues. So we probably could work with a Z offset, right? How did we do this between the layers? We didn't, right? So wait. Did we ever fix the seaweed in Godot? Remember that seaweed down here? That should be... The seaweed is behind the rocks. And the fish is behind the seaweed. That's what we want, right? So why is that? Why is that? So seaweed, obstacles, seaweed. Is it pure accident? Z index is 0. Z index is 0. Was it just a pure coincidence that we are doing this on the correct layer? I mean, you could just say, so we want the coins further in the back. We want the fish a little, so I'm going to put the coin on. I wish I could use layer names here, but we're going to put the coin on -2, right? So that should put the coin behind the fish and behind the rocks, right? I'm not sure what the Unity button here does. Oh, now it's behind the background, right? So let's fix the background. So in our own engine, right? In the old engine, we had these layers, right? So background was 1, decoration was 2, pickups was 3, and then was fish and obstacles. And I think we're gonna do the same. You're gonna use these numbers, right? So background is 1, decoration we don't have. So background is 1, background is 1, background is 1. Right, background ordering is 1. Then we have decoration, which we don't have. Then we have pickups, which is 3. 3. Then we have the fish, which is 4. Okay, we already had a Z index there. And then we have the obstacles, which is 5. And this is now a bit ugly. Right. Can we... Will this change? Oh, this is still the background. I didn't double click. I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is background, right? This is the background, and background was 1. Background was 1, right? Then we had the fish, the pickups, which is 3. So let's... Which is 3, right? Then we have the fish, which is 4. Which is 4. And then we have the obstacles, which is 5, right? And that makes me a bit sad now. I would love to just... Do we have to really I hope we never have to change that again. 5, right? 5? 5. Oh, this is a bit annoying. I wish there was a mass change button for the layers. I probably could have edited the file. Right, we probably could have just gone Godot scene. So I want to try this. All right, so this has a z index of 5, right? And this does, and this does, and this does, and this does, and this doesn't have it. What happens if I just do this? That was rock F, right? So if we open rock F now just to check, we can do that. I mean, not sure if we want to. Right, because this is getting ugly. We could do it. I mean, for mass editing, it's probably easier. Why is sometimes the first node auto-selected and sometimes not? I mean, lucky us, we didn't do 800 of these yet, so it's kind of, probably don't even need to save on every one of them, right? I hope that applies to the animated sprite. I hope that is passed through to the children, right? Otherwise we're in trouble. Okay, so the parent applies because it's by default relative. Let's see where our coins are in relation. So the rocks are still in front. The seaweed is behind the rocks, layering. We are swimming in front of the coins, right? And we're behind the obstacles. Okay. Whew, that was lucky. So we want to collect the coins, right? And I have no idea how to do that. And this should be configuration too, but so when we collected the coins in Unity, right? We just did that last week. So we had the game manager. Basically, oh, was it the fish? The fish knew its pickup range and stuff, which is good, but that was a cleanup, right? And the game manager at some point just said, update pickups, which iterated over all the fish, which iterated over all the pickups, and then did some math on it, right? And we're going to do exactly the same. So the game manager does a update pickups, right? So the game manager in its process physics, right? Probably we don't need to run it in process physics, right? Physics process, all right? We can say func physics process pickups, right? And we yes, we could just have right, and we have the state somewhere in here. Do we? No. No, good. So if not paused, right, then we do physics process it's func, not fun, right? And here we need to get all the fish, and I have no idea how to get all the fish. I mean, how do we get all the fish? So how do we get all objects of a certain type? we could get all under a certain node, right? We could just put them all under a certain node. So what we could do is we could say add child node 2D and call this fishes. Yeah, it's fish, but so we could do this and drag the fish in there, right? And then the game manager knows where the fishes are. Right, so the game manager, we could just say, I don't want to do that. Right, we have obstacles. And then we could have second, but that means, I think that's the cleaner way, right? So add child node 2D. We call this pickups, right? And drag it here. The problem is, how do we know where we add it? The entity could have a type, right? The entity could have a type. What if we had an entity type? I mean, that is not a new concept, right? That is not a new concept, and maybe that's how we should do it. Okay. But entity type is just an enum, right? So where do I define this? Is this just... How does namespacing work? It's open. Oh, class name spacing. It's open for 4 years. So So the question is right now, where do we put this, right? Where do we, I mean, we could just create a script, right? We could create a script and call it entity type, right? And that is just an enum entity type, and then we basically have these, right? Non-player, and for now it's just pick up and obstacle. I'm not sure what the enum rules for GD script enum. Is it uppercase? Is it not uppercase? So it's uppercase. Okay. I mean, we want to. Right. So we could do this. The question is, can we access this in Game Manager, right? So what if our entity config had the resource and the entity type, right? T entity type, right? And we have var entity type is entity. I'm afraid it will not find it, right? And the default is entity type none. Right? And it's not finding entity type, right? Because entity type so how do we get this in scope? Right? We want this enum, right? So we can't do this. Well, we can, and then this doesn't work, right? Because we can't assign none. Because this refers to the class now and not the member. GD script global accessible. That's not how you spell that. Enum. To declare named global named enum. Yeah. Yes, and then use it by import. Oh. I was afraid. This is almost. I'm gonna mix these two approaches, right? So what if we had a script that was constants, right? We have a script that is constants, constants, and that script then does the import, right? I'm not sure this is the most elegant way to do this, right? Entity type preload. Can I drag this? Can I drag this in here? And this doesn't need a class name now, right? So that means in our entity config, should this be constants? I mean, No? Cannot find member none in entity type GD. Wait. Oh, true. Maybe that was the problem all along? Was it? Or is it like this because it's entity type dot entity type now? No. I mean, the thing is, I don't want to litter the whole thing with this, right? I could do this, and then instead of doing this hack, I should be able to do this, right? This is not... Hmm. Oh, wow. Oh. Hmm. This is not this doesn't no. This does not make me very happy. I mean, we could just remove this here, right? And then we can remove this, right? And then it works, but that's weak typing, and actually then this, where we say entity type equals T, does this work? I mean, probably this variant here then is better, right? Oh, obviously now. Why? Oh. Wait. GD script share enum across scripts. I could just put it in the entity config, right? Yes. I'm not a fan of this approach. I'm not a fan. Oh. Ooh. So we can do this. We don't assign the script, we assign the part of this script. I mean, it's still not really elegant, but it's a start. Are we a fan of this? Are we a fan of this? I mean, I just want to type entity type, to be honest. And we could just, right? We could just do this here, right? And that means we could do this, right? And this works, but is this better? I mean, it's like an include. It's like a convoluted include. Let's see if it works, right? So obviously our game manager now, the initialization code is probably messed up, yeah. So we need to do this there as well, right? We need to do this there as well at the very beginning. And then here we say, and this should come from a file, right? Entity type dot pickup. Right, and then we add, and I would love to have, it should probably make this a custom resource, to be honest. And just load it. I mean, I keep saying we should load this, we should load this, we should load this, and hard code it, and oops. Find ways to hard code this, right? While probably a custom resource would have been done already. So the entity config now knows its entity type, right? And if it knows its entity type, we can say, okay, match. And this is the point where I actually assume this worked, right? And just move it in the same. And I say match ec.entity. I'm not sure why the autocomplete here is not working. Right, I forgot the syntax. And then we say entity type dot obstacle, right? Obstacle. We add it to obstacles. Yes, I know. And if it's entity type pickups, pick up, we add it to pickups, right? So we have it under that node. So if we run this now, and actually want to make this a bit smaller. I want to pause this real quick and we go to the remote main game. So we have obstacles here, which is a lot of rocks. I'm not sure what this is. Something that's not named correct. And then we have pickups here, right? Which has the coin. Oh, and that's name duplication, right? Because this is coin and this would be coin too. So it just gets a generic name. That's fine. So all our coins are here. And these are actually coins. As you can see by the sprite down here. So that's good. So our coins are spawned under pickups and our obstacles are spawned under obstacles. I mean, that's what we want, right? So in the game manager, finally we can go to the process, right? So we're going to do the same as, let's use the Unity version. I mean, we could also use the, I could also go to the playing. Oh, wait, it's not the game, right? It's source Fiiish. It should be the game, right? Collect pickups, okay. So we iterate over the fishes, we have the pickup range, and we're gonna do this, but I'm gonna steal this version because it's fresher in my head. So we iterate over the fish, and then we do some magic for every pickup, right? So we iterate over the fish, so for f in, and we should make this unique, right? In fishes dot get children. No. Right? That's for all the fishes. And I wish I could use braces now. And then we do something for p in percent pickups dot get children, right? There's some magic. And what we do here is we get, I mean, obviously we skip fish that are not alive, and this fish, I'm not sure if we ever implemented that. Can you go to the script, please. Do we have a is alive? No, we don't have an is alive, right? So let's do an is alive. Func it is alive, right? And that returns a bool, and we just do the full match state. And actually we have the same here, right? So I'm just gonna copy this and fix it real quick, right? Because I'm not sure if we can do this inline, which looks a bit nicer. It needs an... Oh. Fair enough, right? We have a little bit different rules for capitalizing stuff. Not all code paths return a value. We had that in Unity, right? We just returned false by default because only Rust checks if our match is exhaustive, which would have been too nice, right? I just want this to look a bit nicer. So we can ask the fish if it's alive, right? So in our game manager, we say, if not f is alive, continue. Right, so we only do the second loop for living fish. And then we say, okay, we want the position. We set the z value to 0, which we probably don't need to do. We get the pickup range from the fish. Yeah, let's do this. You have the pickup range, the magnet speed, and magnet range and magnet speed, right? Yeah, we asked the fish for that. That's good. So the fish knows func. We have the pickup range. Right, which is a float. The piku range. Piku range, and that's just the var pickup range float. And we use exactly the same values, right? So pickup range is 10. We want it to behave the same for now, right? We have the var magnet range and magnet speed, right? Magnet range is a float, and I think that was 200, and the magnet speed is 300. And we have var magnet speed is float 300. And I don't want to access the member variables. Invalid. Oh, mixing languages, right? I could just access these directly, but we might want to have it dependent on the fish level or current boost mode, or so we just wrap it in a getter, right? Unexpected indent in class body. Mixing languages. Right, we have the magnet range. Yes, I need to fix that in a second. So we get that from the fish, right? We'll do that later. So if the fish is alive, we get the var, and we actually get a squared version, right? We get the squared version because we right? So that is, yeah. This is not the best way to do it, right? This is not the best way to do it. Because it's too costly, right? This might be an expensive call, so... Oh, obviously this is not here. This is on this level, and then we have the fish position, which is the fish dot... I'm not sure why my autocomplete is broken, right? This is the fish position. The fish position. And then here, pp var pp equals p dot position, right? And I'm not sure if let's just run this to see if I did something insanely stupid already. And so far, I haven't, apparently. So that's good. So now we do some math, right? And we also check if the pickup is alive. We need that to avoid double picking up, right? Which is nice. So we go into the pickup script and also give this. I feel like getters should be first, right? And for now, this just returns true. Just hard-coded true. We can fix this later, right? And here we say, if not P is alive. I'm not sure why the autocomplete is foobarred. Right? And then we do the math. Right? So the delta is the pickup position, or delta, and I'm using the same names, right? Minus the fish position. Let's call this delta time. Right, so, and then we want the length squared. I'm not happy about this. So vector 2, right? I just want to go there and see if there is length squared. Length squared is good. I mean, I'm not sure why my autocomplete is gone. Right, and then we just do the standard comparison. We don't need that closest test, and we just say, if we're in, we don't do the pickup, right? Well, maybe we do the pickup. So if length squared is smaller than pickup range squared, to do pickup, right? Else, is it elif? Else if ls is smaller than magnet range squared, then we do something, right? And that something is we just calculate the magnet speed, normalize that, and that's just ported straight from the original, so we keep it like that. So this editor needs some tweaks. So we have the magnet speed, and this is actually delta time, right? And then we normalize. Normalize. Actually, I want to see if that returns. something is broken with my editor. Well, with Godot, right? Grep symbol normalize. Is normalized, yeah. Normalized returns a new vector 2. Okay, so can I assign to the existing one? I can, and then I just say speed times delta. And then I just change the position of the P. This pass is now obsolete, this as well. So I wish we had braces that would make it a bit more readable. So we go over the fishes. If it's alive, we get all the info. And we go over the pickups. If it is alive, we get the position, we calculate the delta, we calculate the squared length. I think blocking it like this is a bit more readable. Like this actually. If we are in pickup range, we'll do something. If not, if we're in magnet range, we'll... And this will be look a bit weird because we get into magnet range, pull the coin close, get into pickup range, stop pulling, get into magnet range again. So it will be some weird wobbling, but I want to see if we did something crucially wrong here, right? So if we get close to the coins, they should start getting attracted to the fish. And then they kind of follow forever because we never collect them, right? I mean, that worked surprisingly well. So let's do the pickup, actually. I mean, let's do the pickup. And the pickup is basically we do the collect, we ignore the effect, and we get the value, right? And then we destroy the pickup. Maybe the pickup destroys itself, right? So we call the collect. Right. Var coin value is p dot coin value. No semicolon here. I just want to use the same names, right? And then we do something with that. And then we do a q free of p. This is how it's done, right? And then we actually get parent remove child. We queue free, but we instantly go away, right? Obviously collect and queue free, collect and coin value doesn't exist for the pickup. Right, so we say func collect, which does nothing for the moment. And a func coin value getter, which returns an int. Yeah, that's not the syntax we're looking for. And for now, it just returns the member named coin value, which makes me a bit sad because we export an internal, right? So that means if we go into the coin now, right, in the scene here and go here, we have the value and can set the value here to 1. Because the explosion and the magnet don't count as coins, right? So can we collect coins? I mean, we don't count them, but actually we can add the counting, right? We can add the counting, but step 1 is will they disappear or will they follow us forever? Nope. they do disappear, right? They still have this trail effect, which I actually want. Coins disappear when we swallow them. I mean, that's nice, right? We can collect coins. Not sure why my photos is jumping up and down. It's probably telling me my disk is full or something. So actually, let's do the coin value, right? I mean, that's just a member here. And we need to clean all of this up, right? But what if we have a var coins, which is an int, which is 0, right? And then down here, I mean, all we have to do is plus equals the coin value, right? And then when we prepare the respawn, we say coins equals 0, right? That's all. And we're currently not showing that, so you could go into the debug UI and ask the game manager, what if, I forgot how we did it in Unity, probably just at the bottom, right? So we could go into the UI scenes. Where's our UI? There's our debug UI, right? Well, okay. So that is our debug UI, right? So what if this is the debug camera, right? So what if we just add an H box as a zip link to that? Is there a fold all? Right? In this V box, we add a child, which is an H box, which is the coin HBox container. And in that HBox container, we add a child that is, well, let's add a VBox container, right? And in there, we add text, label, rich text. We just do a label right now, right? And that label is actually the coin label, which is just coins, right? And then we have another label, which is the coin value label. I'm not sure why I put this. We don't need, right? Right, so we have this, and if this is 100, horizontal align is right. And the layout is, container sizing is fill, is expand, and we want fill shrink end, right? I mean, I'm not sure why this. Oh, because they have margins and we don't have. I don't care too much, to be honest. So we have the coin value label, right? Which is by default, let's set this to 0. And actually make this access unique name. And then in debug UI, we say coin value label dot text equals %d coins, and var coins is actually game manager coins. I want to create a getter. I'm I want to create a getter. I want to, this needs some cleanup, right? Func coins int return coins. So our debug UI on update, if we have a game manager, we get the coins from the game manager and we set the value label to the current coin value, right? Let's see. So we have coin 0 down here. We swim, 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 and hot is coming, right? And this number goes up. Oh, rendering order. Debug UI should be in front of everything, right? Because debug UI should be in front of everything. Debug UI should be in front of everything, and we have the ordering here. And remember, we had our ordering here, and UI was layer 8. And the debug, let's make this layer 8. Right. And let's see. Let's see the blue C. And the UI is in front of everything. Okay, that's good. That's good. And you can collect tons of coins. And if we die, we get to the count the coins up, right? And then you respawn and you start a new run with 0 coins. We need to clean up the coins. You see those coins? They're leftovers from the last run. They are leftovers from the last run. And we already saw why, right? Let's call this P just for Pete's sake. Right, so if we die now in the middle of the first, and I think we had the same problem with Unity. We did have exactly the same issue with Unity. This is GD script. Sorry, my chat overlay is not working, so I'm missing chat. This is Godot script. I'm not sure we're gonna stick with it or if we move to Rust, but so far, apart from some annoyances like the enum we had earlier, let's see. Yeah. So now the coins, excuse me, get removed. Yeah, the question was what language is that, and it's GD script. I'm still getting used to it. Before I abandon it, I want to give it a fair chance and let's do a full game with it. So we added the coins, we have the collectible coins. We know that effects are coming, right? We know that effects are coming. So I'm gonna say let's define pickup effects now so we can clone the coin and make our life a bit easier, right? Shall we do that? No, we're not doing effects. We're just putting in the things, right? So how do we, and I would do, normally I would do a commit here again, but we're in this weird mode. So actually, I'm wondering, I would need some inheritance, but we could have asked the scene, hey, what type are you, right? But let's see. So we have pickup, rain, explosion, and magnet. So I'm just gonna go all in. Rain, explosion, and magic, right? Rain, rain, explosion, and magnet, not magic. Magic is my work. This is magnet. And obviously we have to coin rain. And the sad thing is, I think here we called it, where is it? Oh, we called it pickups coin, pickups explosion, pickups magnet. Explosion and magnet. None of these exist, right? None of these exist. So what we could do is we could duplicate this to coin rain. Explosion. And magnet. Right, and coin rain. Pickups, coin rain does not exist. Ah, I just didn't reload. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So all of them will look the same and behave the same, which is not what we want. Right, so we have this. This should be the magnet here. And the eye of the fish should be the green thing. So let's fix that. I mean, so we have the coin rain, right? We go here. Actually, can you... We have new sprite frames, right? And we just gonna go into textures, pickups, coin... rain. This is rain, right? I hope this is rain. Let me just drag this in here, set this to 25, give it a quick spin. Works. I just want to do something. So coin rain, right? This is coin and this is coin rain. So I'm gonna rename this to rain. I'm going to rename this to explosion. I'm going to rename this one here to magnet, right? So we go into the coin explosion. Wait. So coin has this animated. Coin rain has the blue one. Coin explosion gets a new one. And that is the green one. Don't ask me why explosion is green. Not my idea. I think we did the colored coins first and then came up with ideas for that, right? So green coin. And then we go to the magnet. Create a new animation. New sprite frames animation, and then drag in the magnets at 25 FPS. Give that a quick spin. And this was so much quicker than Unity. Let's see. Let's see. So we have a spinning magnet. All right, which does nothing yet. And we have the green eye coin, which does nothing special. Let's see if we can find a blue coin. I think the purple... Come on. Pink and purple had everything, right? Pink and purple had everything. So there's coins. There's a blue coin up there. There is a blue coin up there and a blue coin down there. And a magnet. Okay, I mean, that was easy. So let's go back to our scripts, right? So we want something to happen when we collect special stuff, right? And this pass here actually. So here we actually want to do something if there's an effect on this, right? So what we're gonna do is the pickup is gonna get an effect, and the effect is gonna be in scripts because it's kind of global, and we need to do the magic thing again, right? Like here. So what if create new script? Let's call this pickup effect, right? And I think we had none. Right, we had where are our effects? Where are our effects? So we had magnet, explosion, and rain. Magnet, explosion, and we'll spend far too much time. Actually, just for consistency. Magnet, rain, explosion, on. Magnet, rain, explosion, on. Magnet, rain, explosion, on. Just for a little bit of consistency, right? And so we gonna, well, actually we're gonna do this in the game manager because that's where we need it, right? I hope, oh, this is gonna be interesting, right? So pick up effect, pick up effect. I don't like this, right? Because one typo somewhere here and this is not what you believe it is. So we want to use this, but also the pickup needs to support it, right? So I'm gonna add this here. And then I do an export var effect. And that defaults to pickup effect none, right? So if we go to our, so if I go to my explosion here, right? If I go to my explosion here, I can just set it to explosion, and it should be an array or something. So we compose it later, and the rain is rain, right? And the magnet, no, I didn't want to double click, and the magnet actually is magnet, right? So we can figure this here, and people, game designers, photos, can you just shut up, please? So I think we're going to do the magnet and then call it a day. Yeah, it's been a long day for me as well. So, right, we're going to say match p dot effect. Fact, I mean, maybe we maybe we should I will type that semicolon for my whole life, right? So could not parse global class game manager. What? Wait. Oh, it's game manager. Yeah, okay. Right, by default, we just do nothing. And if it is pick up effect, look, the auto-completion is working again. Oh, it's not magnet, it's magnet. Right? And basically what we did here is, and we're going to do the same, we apply a magnet boost to the fish, right? And just a hard-coded one. Just use the same values for now. So the fish gets an apply magnet boost, right? With 3 values, and we have the same here, right? Which just sets the range boost, just sets three variables, right? Which is on the fish. We have, yeah, that's not what we wanted. Reporting the port of the port. But that's why we leapfrog each other version, right? And I want to make this explicit floats just because, and this F here is unwanted, right? So that's the magnet range boost, and then we have a func apply magnet boost. Magnet boost. And what was the order? Range, flow, range, speed, and duration. So range, speed, seed, speed, and duration. Duration, right? And we actually, I wonder if we should add to the duration, to be honest. No, range boost. Magnet speed boost is speed, and a magnet boost duration is duration, right? Double collecting. So there is a semicolon, colon missing. And now it gets interesting because basically here we do what we do here and just multiply, right? We just multiply. So if we're boosting, then this is a range boost, right? And this is the speed boost. That's just the factor. And then in the update actually, and that's in the update swimming. Oh, we don't have an update swimming. So we need to count down this, right? And we do the same. We just do the same block. I mean, it's the same thing, right? And we don't need physics precision, so we say right? And I'm going to explain this. If we're currently boosting the magnet, right? If we're currently boosting the magnet, then we subtract the time delta. And if we're not boosting the magnet anymore now, right, then we reset the values. And the F's here and the semicolons here are not needed. Right, so if we're boosting, we undo the boosting, and we subtract from the remaining boost time, and when we're done with the boosting, we stop the boost. And that is the magnet. I mean, he probably should handle user input before doing anything. That's just a good pattern, right? And we need to refactor this code at some point, but for now we just want parity. Will it magnet? It could not parse game manager. Why not? Where? because there's a semicolon, right? Invalid. Oh. A float is a float, my friends. Okay, that's better. So, does it magnet? Does it magnet? Ooh, it magnets. And let's actually try in this zoom level, because in Unity we had this zoom dependent attraction range, and I want to check if that is broken here as well. Because we're using screen space coordinates instead of. But this actually looks good. And remember, the player only sees the purple frame, right? And the magnet gives a very short, very specific boost, right? So I like this. I like how this turned out. We're not gonna do explosions and rain today. We will not do explosions and rain today. I'm sorry about that. But when you play your own game, I'm frustrated that you accidentally died, right? I think this turned out nicely. This is good. This was a good session. I think they actually overshoot. It looks like they're overshooting. At least in magnet mode, but I might be wrong. I need to check what photos wants. Probably something broken with my photo library. To be continued. Continued. All right, so to do. What did we do today? We 2024 10:01, and I'm pretty sure there should be a dash here. I mean, that was, well, we went, it's exactly the same we did, right? It's exactly the same we did for Unity, but much faster, so. Yeah. So, and I wish I could change the font here. Okay, the to-do staged. This is the rock A scene, rock B scene. We added the Z index, right? We added the coins to the debug UI. Added a few containers to the debug UI. We added the pickup range boost and the pickup range and the live and the update of the magnet boost, right? For the fish, we added the Z layer. For the game, we added the Z. We had this entity type and pickup effect. We moved all our hard-coded stuff into one big lookup for the entity config. We created that enum. Coins. We processed the actual pickups, right? We removed this big ugly match case and replaced it with a getter from our config. That's what configs are for. we put our different entity types on under different parents, so obstacle and pickup, so we can iterate over them easier. And obviously we need to clean up the pickups, right? So we have the coin, we have the coin explosion, we have the rain, we have the magnet, we have the pickup script, we have the constants. Yeah, let's add that. The entity config, the entity type, the pickup effect, the images. Can I do this? I never tried. No. Oh, really? Really? Okay. Let's do I would go to the command line, but you can watch me clicking, right? Blah, 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 blah. Faster! Don't slip with the mouse. Sonst bist du Maus gerutscht. Und das wäre nicht gut. Making puns in German, sorry. Okay, slow down. Okay, this is the magnet. 20 more, 64 more. Almost there, almost there, almost there. And that's it. So, what do we have? Season 1, episode 13. At pickups to Godot. Implement magnet in Godot and fix layer order in Godot. So, if everything goes well, if you go to actions, and I should rename this action to something sensible, it should start the job. Waiting for a runner to pick it up. So while it waits, we look. Next time, obviously, we add the coin explosion and the coin rain, which shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, the coin rain is just spawning a bunch of coins, and we kind of create a spawner that we do over time, and then the coin explosion, we just go shockwave, blast wave to the front of the fish instead of this weird heart-shaped, not heart-shaped sinus. Yeah. So next time we finish the pickups, I think death and restart is working. Maybe we accidentally did that. So I think we start with the in-game HUD. The in-game HUD, including the pause button, but not the full pause menu and not the settings. I want to do the results screen because that ties it all together. But we're probably gonna do these two on Thursday. Maybe we start with this. We probably should go back to Unity for the results screen, but I'm not sure if I can handle Unity UI at the moment. So let's see. Okay, while we were talking, okay, this is long. So it checks out the repository, right? It checks out the repository. It checks out the repository. It sets up Godot, and actually it realizes, hey, we have it in cache, so we use the cached version for speed. It checks which Godot version is installed, which is 4.3 stable, and then it does a WebGL export, right? Just Godot headless. We don't have a UI. We export the debug version of web into this, and it's actually this folder, so you have to give it the file name of the HTML, not the folder name, and then you just quit. All right, so that's fine, and then it starts and re-imports the assets. which is fine, which is a lot now. I'm not sure why it's re-importing those. And then we have this weird error, which I haven't got to the bottom of yet. And I will debug this offline because, you know, GitHub work. I think it might be due to this not being referenced or something like that, but let's see. I couldn't even test if it's working. And it's only happening to the seaweed, so maybe we just need to open and save the file again in some way or form. It's updating the scene groups, it's packing stuff. I'm not sure what, I don't even, it's packing a lot of textures and stuff, so, or storing texture files, so, and then it's done. It says there's something leaked, I don't know. I just checked the results, so I find what's in the export folder, and it actually has the PCK file, the icon file, preview, I don't know, the HTML file, the audio helper, the JavaScript loader, and the WASM file. And then we actually upload that to an S3 bucket, but we can't run it from there due to the domain being moved between hosts, providers right now, and I cannot point it to a CloudFront distribution. But it built, so we didn't break it, we didn't forget any files, and the whole build size currently is only 52 megabytes, which is nice. As always, you can follow along the code in the GitHub repository, right? I'm gonna paste this in chat real quick. It's all open source, don't steal the assets, there's a different license on them, so... And the Unity version is in there as well. This was nice. This was nice. I somehow like the... I somehow like the Godot version better. I mean, yes, the debug UI looks better, but that's a different story. I'm not sure what the Unity button does here. we have to watch the old stream, right? Where's that? Thank you for being here. I'm Antti, and for today, I am out, and the fish is dead. The fish is dead.